Welcome, everyone, to the league. It is week 9. This is your commissioner speaking. No drinks today because I am all drugged up from the hospital. Got my foot wrapped up, and look what I got. I got a fucking foreign object that I have to use. So kill me. I'm a goddamn cripple. But, whatever. So, let's get right into it. uh, yeah, so everyone in the South lost, everyone in the West won again. This is starting to become interesting now. The Titans Elite still leading the West with that team. Every year we say this shit. Every year we always pick Joe to be that ticking time bomb, and his team just finds a way to win. Somehow, some way, this is probably like if Joe was actually if Joe had better players, he would win the fucking championship every year probably. Because this dude finds he gets his team ready every single fucking week, and they play hard for him. They love him over there in Santa Clara, and they're still leading the West. Everyone else in the West is now 4-4. They were 2-4, so very very interesting out there in the West. Everyone in the South though lost. So the Trolls lost, couldn't capitalize on the rest of the losses there. The Heaters, man, put up a tough fight again and unfortunately ran into the buzzsaw that is the Columbia dumpster fire. The Quailmen and the Tiger Sharks are now 2-6, and with the rest of the league kind of winning and going back to the mean, and the East looking very very strong, and I guess you would say top heavy in a way. Um, it's not looking good for the Quailmen and the Sharks, and the Cartel are basically out of it as well, unless they magically win every single game. They would have to win 6 straight games to go to 7-7, and then even at that point, they're going to need some help. So the Tiger Sharks and the Quailmen are not out of it just yet. However, if we look at the playoff odds, as we would say. Yeah, it's not good. The dumpster fire have almost clinched, I think, at this point. I'm not gonna run that shit just yet. But yeah, right now the cartel are basically out. The Tiger Sharks, it looks like they have a .03 chance to make the playoffs. The Quailmen have about a 1% chance. Um, and the Wise Guys have about a 7% chance, which is interesting though, because after the Wise Guys, the next team is the Finesse, and that jumps from 7% to 41% of playoff chance. So I don't really believe in these calculations per se too much. I think it just takes into account basically their records for the most part, and maybe points scored and where they are in the standings, because the Wise Guys are 4-4 and so are the Finesse. So a jump of basically 37% just based on that, eh, it's whatever. So Tiger Sharks and the Quailmen are not out of it just yet, but they're gonna need to start winning some fucking games very, very quickly. Let's get into the power rankings. Very easy, I think, this week. Really, getting a lot of chatter in the chat. Um, Nothing changed on the bottom six. So you got the cartel at 12. You got the Tiger Sharks at 11. You got the Quailmen at 10. And yeah, you got the Wise Guys at 9. I couldn't move them up anywhere, even though they won. I can't move them down. Same with the Finesse. I got them here at 8, and same with the Vietnam Voyagers. Um, you know, all of those in the West they won. However, can't really move them up anywhere. There's no breathing room in the top 6 right now. It's kind of a log jam here. down in the 4, 5, and 6 spots. A lot of shuffling going around, but yeah, so no movement in the bottom 6. But coming in at number 6, we got the Hickory Grove Heaters. I know you're looking tough and looking strong, but I had to drop you down um, just based on record and I guess unluckiness. I mean, this team, straight up, they put up 154 points last week and lost. Put up 134 the week before and lost. And it's not very good. And then the week before that, they ran into Joe and they got Joe balled where they only put up 98. So the Heaters right now, realistically, they're probably not 6, but based on record and past performances, I got to drop you down. Sorry. Coming in at number 5, dropping a couple spots, you got the Charleston Trolls. Man, they put up 133 points, but the Smeagol's came out and basically said, fuck that, I'm going to break the points record this week. Didn't break 200, about a half a point away from breaking 200. Insane. Um, right there. So I had to move the Trolls down. They're on a bit of a skid. They've lost the last, is it 2 or 3 weeks? They lost the last 2 games um, to, excuse me, to the Titans Elite. Again, they got Joe Ball, only put up 107. I'm telling you, Joe's defense, man, woo, woo, you got to look out for it. And yeah, so the Trolls dropped down to number 5. Coming in at number 4, had to bring them up. You got the Philadelphia Smeagol's. And this team right now, they put up, again, like I said, almost 200 last week. They put up 132 the week before in a win over the Tiger Sharks, 142 the week before that, week 6, in a win over the Quailmen. In week 5, they did take the L again to Joe, only putting up 112. So that Joe defense is doing the thing. Um, but otherwise, the Smeagol's have won 4 of their last 5 games, and they are on fire right now. So they have moved way up the boards the last couple of weeks. So they're in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, you can't deny them anymore. You got the SC Titans Elite. Do they have the best defense in the league? Points against right now, not necessarily. Um, I think the least points against is the Washington Wise Guys with 901. SC Titans Elite coming in at number 2. I'm sorry, number 3 behind the Rune Dogs at 955. But it just seems that whenever they play somebody, they drag them down, and it's it's all mind games from this coach. And again, like we said earlier, this team is playing hard for them, and they want to keep on rolling. So they're at number 3, top of the West. Coming in at number 2, you got the Long Island Rune Dogs. They did lose last week, but I couldn't really move them down. I couldn't put them below Joe, um, just based on points scored and everything. And I know that Mandy is, they are third in the East, but this team is still very, very good. And I think, their minor slip ups are not really going to affect them too much because, again, kind of like the Heaters, when they have lost, it's been, it's been fairly close and almost, say, heartbreaking for the Rune Dogs. But when they win, they put up a shitload of points. So I've got them here at 2. A little bit controversial, but again, whatever. And of course, at number 1, you got the dumpster fire. What else do I have to say about this team? They've put up like 200 points more than everybody else on the fucking year. And they've also allowed a decent amount of points. So it's not like, whatever. They're still just blowing dudes the fuck out. And this team, again, is 7-1 for a reason. And, looking at the schedules, the dumpster fire, they could be 8-0 if they played the Tiger Sharks schedule. They could be 5-3 if they played the Trolls schedule. But that's the worst they would be right now, would be 5-3. Um, Everywhere else, they'd be 7-1. They'd be 6-2 if they played the Quailmen schedule. But I mean, the Dumpster Fire are again the #1 team in the league by far, not even close. Don't even need to explain it. So let's get into the matchups. Matchup #1. You got the Miami Cartel at the Vietnam Voyagers. I did not update the ticker at the bottom because I was dealing with, well, the other video shit. But right now, the Voyagers are up 19-7 in the middle of the second quarter. Looks like Rashee Rice got a touchdown. Got a touchdown for the Chiefs. I thought someone else got a touchdown for the Chiefs. What? I thought Justin Watson got the touchdown. Did they call that back? I guess they called that back and got it to Rashee Rice. Motherfucker. Well, that's a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. The Cartel, again, worst team in the league. Voyagers, just lost their quarterback for the remainder of the season. And they just lost one of their good tight ends who's on IR. And they also got Justin Jefferson, who's still on IR for at least another week, probably 2 more weeks until he comes back. But right now, this game it's probably going to be the Voyagers. Not many people tuning into this one. Not many people get this broadcast. I mean, it's the Cartel, the worst team in the league, all the way out in Vietnam. So people, they're just not going to tune in. It's just it's out of their zone. It's blacked out unless you're in Vietnam. So not many people are going to tune into this one. Matchup #2. I had to keep it up, E-Man. I'm sorry. It's just too good. I might keep this shit up all season. It's fucking great. You got the 4-4 LA Finesse at the 2-6 Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. And right now, the LA Finesse are up 17-11 in the middle of the second quarter. It was 11-0 at the end of the first, and the Finesse have come up and put up a decent amount of points. I'm sorry, it was 11-8 at the end of the first, but the Finesse have come back. It looks like the Finesse should win this game, but it's going to be a little bit closer than people think. I think it all depends on how Baker Mayfield is going to play. He's getting the start for the Tiger Sharks over Geno Smith. Last second call by head coach Waymond out there in Tampa, and we're going to see how that move pays off for them. They are playing Houston, so that might be a sneaky good play, as Baker did look good last week against Buffalo. Right now, though, the Finesse should take this one, but we'll see. It's going to be close. Matchup #3. You got the Washington Wise Guys, the 4-4. Washington Wise Guys at the 2-6. Surprising 2-6. French Quarter Quailmen. And the Quailmen are up 28-5 in the middle of the second quarter. I guess the Wise Guys got a safety and a field goal here just a little bit ago. And so they're trying to claw their way back into this one. The Quailmen should win this one, and that would be a big win for them. But again, the Wise Guys have shown toughness. They have the best defense in the league, apparently. So we'll see what happens here. However, they do have Curtis Samuel, who's out, who's in play. So I guess they could put in Algier or KJ Osborne or Mooney to replace him, so that that projection will go up a little bit, but it's still projected that the Quailmen should win this one. But this will be a close game as well. We'll tune in for this one. Matchup #4. I'm surprised this wasn't game of the week, but I can understand why it wasn't, and I could also see that it could be rivalry game of the week, but I can also understand why it wasn't. So this is kind of like your like the headline of the prelims on like a UFC fight. You know what I mean? This is like the last free fight that you get to watch before the pay-per-view starts. You got the 5-3 Charleston Trolls playing the #1 ranked team, the 7-1 Columbia Dumpster Fire. And a few weeks ago, we were looking towards this matchup thinking, wow, they're both going to be undefeated when they play. But that's not the case. It's 5-3 for the Trolls, 7-1 though for the Dumpster Fire. And right now, the Trolls are up 1-0 in the beginning of the first quarter. Jalen Ramsey has 1 tackle as it stands right now, which gets them 1 point. But it says it's going to be close, but it says that every week for the Dumpster Fire, and they always outscore their projection by a shitload. But the Trolls are no slouches, so we'll see how they do. I think they're going to need a big game from Hawkinson and possibly T. Higgins, because Higgins has looked very just meh this year, but they got Buffalo, so that's going to be his X factor here for this one. The Trolls do have a good chance to take down the Dumpster Fire and bring them a little bit closer back to earth. But yeah, this should be a close one. As it stands now, the Dumpster Fire do look like they should pull this one out, but it's going to be by single digits. It's going to be close. Let's see. But let's get on to the rivalry game of the week. You got the Hickory Grove Heaters, 4-4, going on up to play the 5-3 Brotherly Love Philadelphia Smeagol's. And man, this is going to be a good damn game. Right now, it says the Smeagol's should win. They are up 6-3 in the middle of the first quarter. Low-scoring affair right now, but it's going to heat up. These guys, again, they're brothers. They know each other inside and out. Phrasing. Very, very big matchup. The Smeagol's want to win in case the Dumpster Fire lose. They can gain some ground there, and to get, again, some ground on the Roondogs as well. The Heaters, they need to just get a win and get that confidence back, because they've been putting up the points. They just haven't been getting them W's, and they need it this week to possibly tie or even pass the Charleston Trolls should they win, because they do have more points scored than the Trolls. So if they win this game and the Trolls lose, and the Trolls don't outscore the Heaters by 4 points, then the Heaters will be the leaders in the South. But this should be a very, very, very good matchup. Right now, it does say the Smeagol's should win by about a touchdown, but this is a rivalry game for a reason, and it's going to be fucking close. Let's get on to the game of the week. Woo! You got the West leading 5-3 SC Titans Elite at the third place in the East, 5-3 Long Island Roondogs. And right now, the Roondogs are up 18-8. And in the it's the middle of the second quarter as well. I can understand why this is the game of the week. They're both 5-3, so it's pretty big. And of course, the person who picked them, you know, you're gonna put yourself in the game of the week, and it's the leader of the West versus a front runner for the playoffs and a very strong team as well. Right now, it does look like the Roondogs should win by 2 touchdowns, but we all know Joe Ball. You know, when a team needs to perform big and they don't put up points, or they can't, they get slogged down, it's always against these Titans. The armor is strong there. And I think this week, honestly, it's all on Davante Adams for the Roondogs. He has got to get something going for this team. And for the Titans Elite, they really need, honestly, OBJ to do something. I don't know why he's starting, but sure. I would be putting in Juju over him just based on injuries out there in New England. But hey, Joe loves his OBJs. He loves his Tom Brady's, all these old players, and but they've been playing well for him. Should be a good game. Again, the Roondogs should win by 2 touchdowns, but you can never trust the scores when it comes to Joe. Let's get on to the predictions. Holy fucking headache. Not really. It wasn't too bad, but thank you, Mandy, for the great video. Sorry that we had to blur the shit out, and sorry for everyone for the weird moving blur. That was weird. But yeah, it turns out copyright wise, it wasn't the song, it was the episode in the back playing, which YouTube caught and just took all of that out. So I had to put in a blur, and then it didn't work, and then it did work. I don't fucking know. So whatever. As long as you guys can watch it, sweet. So thank you, Mandy, for the video. Last week, oh shit. 1 second. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. I had Graydon still up there instead of Sam. Sam went 2-4 last week. I guess all those crazy upset picks and being high as balls when making them did not pay out. The only games he got correct were the Finesse over the Quailmen and the Smeagol's over the Trolls. Every other game he got fucking wrong. So we are now 28-20 on the season. Dropping down to 58%. We started out so good, so well, until E-Man fucked it up with a 1-5. Matt brought us back with 4-2, and then the last 2 weeks, Graydon and Sam combined for 5-7 on the picks. So we'll see what happens with Mandy's picks. Want to get that percentage up. As long as we can be 52%, I am happy on the year. Or 51%, so 52% or better this year is an improvement. But Mandy's got the Voyagers over the Cartel. Not a big problem there. Got the Tiger Sharks, though, over the Finesse. Upset right here. Got the Quailmen over the Wise Guys. I'm going to call that an upset as well. Got the Dumpster Fire over the Trolls. Fairly easy pick. Got the Heaters over the Smeagol's. That must have been a tough pick to make. I mean, I would flip a coin on that shit with the way both of those teams have been playing. But got the Heaters, got the older brother winning over the Smeagol's in the rivalry game of the week. And she's got her Rune Dogs over the Titans Elite in the game of the week. So those are your picks. Again, thank you, Mandy. Yeah, let's get on to golf. Yeah, golf. Holy shit. So P-Man shot a, what is 6? Is that a hextuple? Hextuple birdie and no bogeys. So P-Man got 6 birdies and came from 4 over to 2 under. So he came all the way from, I think, 10th place and moving up all the way to 7th with a huge rise there. Matt also got 3 birdies. E-Man got 2 birdies and a bogey. Hunter increased his lead by getting 1 birdie while Dan got a bogey. So that lead, that's a 2-point swing. 2-stroke swing right there between 1 and 2. And otherwise, no really big movers. I got a birdie. Sam got 1 bogey, and Rico he's just kind of slowly dying. He got 2 bogeys, so he's now at 9 over. But through 8 weeks, though, to only be 9 over is not too bad. And Hunter's only 9 under. So again, this is a very, very competitive season in golf this year. So it's really, really nice to see. It's still very close, and there's only 1 tie between Dan and E-Man at 6 under. So yeah, those are your golf scores. And yeah, we're gonna end this shit early so you guys can get back to watching the game in Germany. Not England, in Germany. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Hopefully I won't be hobbling the fuck around my apartment, but we'll see. I don't have anything to drink, so cheers. Woo!